to come on in quickly. Let's go to your presentation.
Thank you so much for having me today. So we're talking about marketing, and we're talking about marketing of the vanadium flow batteries. And as a starting point, and as we already know by now, vanadium flow batteries, the VFBs, offer real technical advantages. But over the years, it has faced significant marketing and branding challenges, especially when it compared to kind of more dominant energy storage technologies, particularly lithium ion batteries. In terms of the market visibility and awareness, a couple of things that I do want to point out. There's quite a low consumer awareness of the battery, mainly because it's being marketed mainly to B2B, so business to business marketing, and we have no B2C marketing, which just generally make it's harder to market. I think that the battery is still perceived as a niche or emerging technology. It is quite often misunderstood or confused with the lithium ion battery or the hydrogen technology. And it seemed to have a limited number of manufacturers. So that's the perception of something. Now, what we know is, however, that the unique value proposition and what the messages that we are trying to put out during the marketing for the battery and for Vanitec is the battery has a clear long duration storage benefits. It's compelling total cost of ownership over 20 to 25 years. Its safety, non-degradable, and recyclability are key strengths that we always try to highlight in our marketing efforts. So the challenges that we're seeing is that these benefits that I just mentioned, they are complex to explain to our audience. And it's also long-term benefits. So they require education and data backed comparison, which makes it harder to market the battery quicker to our target audience. Next slide, please. So if we're looking at the situation without making too much of a complex SWOT analysis, but still looking at the weaknesses, the opportunities, the challenges, the gaps, and so on. Well, the weakness for the battery is that it's not yet has a whole household name. So most end users, including and maybe especially utility buyers, are more familiar with the lithium battery. The opportunity, however, is that with the rise of long duration storage mandates or the need for long duration storage, like we're talking 4 to 8 hour systems, the vanadium flow battery value story is becoming more and more relevant. And if we're looking at the challenge that the battery has, it needed over years and still needs more storytelling and end user exposure. So we want to show real projects over and over. And at the moment, a lot of the vanadium flow battery projects are often hidden behind industrial fences. If we're looking at the gap, there's a branding gap, and we saw that the vanadium flow battery needed a stronger visual identity and simplified messaging to really kind of get the message out about sleek high-tech perception compared to its competitors. So, to compete with the lithium kind of battery dominance, let's say, the vanadium industry must shift from this technical excellence to audience-focused communication. So that means simplification, storytelling, visual identity, and investment in brand building. And Vanitec as an organization and as an association is helping bridging this by centralizing messaging, producing content and media, and advocacy. In my rest of the presentation, we're going to see some examples of that. Next slide, please, John. So our approach, marketing this vanadium flow battery solution under the umbrella of Vanitec, and of course, Vanitec's kind of mission and goals on its own involved a strategic approach that highlights the unique value proposition of vanadium and position this battery technology as vital to the future of the energy storage. 4 things I want to point out here. The first one is we wanted to define our value proposition for the battery with focus on sustainability. A couple of things that we focus here is the longer lifespan, so 20 plus years without degradation, scalability, safety, non-flammable, 100% depth of discharge, and sustainability. A lot of sustainability message. Number two that we have here is we wanted to leverage Vanitec's authority and network. We have collaborated and we've published white papers and case studies. We are participating or even actually hosting technical and promotional forums like this webinar that you're participating in today, but we are hosting these type of webinars a couple of times every year. We also support various global trade shows, policy discussions, and renewable energy conferences like the IFBF that John mentioned at the beginning of this webinar. The third approach that we've taken is engage policymakers and regulators. So Vanitec works to promote vanadium in standards and in regulations. We're submitting, for example, policy briefs on vanadium's strategic value. We're promoting vanadium flow batteries as key to national energy security and net zero targets. And finally, partnerships and pilots. So we have some really great partnerships with universities that provide excellent research pieces. And from a marketing point of view, we're using these research pieces to then get the message out there and really back it with some strong data. And we're also working to demonstrate the viability by highlighting successful deployments of the battery from various markets, for example, China, Australia, and other markets across the world. John, next slide, please. Now, our tactics here, if we're looking at the strategic marketing, what we've been busy with, I want to highlight three things. The first one being what we're busy with is content marketing. We have published technical comparisons between the vanadium flow battery and the lithium battery. We have created infographics about vanadium's circular economy. We have shared case studies and project outcomes of the battery. So we constantly want to highlight the real actual projects that's happening around the world. And we want to highlight the total cost of ownership advantages over 20 plus years. We have also worked with thought leaderships. We host webinars like these and panel discussions featuring various Vanitec experts. We're submitting press releases, articles to various kind of energy journals and other media, traditional media outlets to get them published there. So far, we have had quite some success there. We have done some really great interview videos with leading topic experts, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples in a bit. We're also working with digital marketing as part of our strategic marketing efforts. In that regards, we're using hashtags and keywords like vanadium flow batteries, hashtag VFBs, long duration storage, and so on and so on and so on. We're posting very frequently on LinkedIn, and we create these posts both as planned content and also as news flashes. And I'll show you a few examples of this in a bit. But here we're targeting energy professionals. And we have developed and distributed explainer videos showcasing how the vanadium flow batteries works. John, next slide, please. Another tactic of ours is the branding and trust. And what do we do with branding and trust? Here I want to highlight another three items. We had a terminology shift last year. Vanitec transitioned from using the acronym the vanadium redox flow battery, the VRFB, to the more accessible term vanadium flow battery. This change was intended to simplify communications and improve recognition among a broader audience. And I'm really pleased to see that most of the industry have picked up on this and is now calling the battery or this amazing technology the vanadium flow battery. But we didn't stop there. Then we came to design and branding. So we created an icon for the battery to be used in all promotional materials by Vanitec and all its members, and also, of course, outside its members, to reflect the more contemporary and cohesive visual identity. You can see the icon at the top of this slide. And then we thought, okay, we're not going to stop there. We're going to think about the communication strategy. So the branding emphasized the unique advantages of the vanadium flow battery technology, such as long duration storage capabilities, safety, and sustainability. And the goal in general was to position the vanadium flow battery as a viable and attractive option in the renewable energy sector. So in 2024, Vanitec unveiled a visual identity for the vanadium flow battery during its 14th Energy Storage Committee webinar. This initiative was aimed to launch the branding of the vanadium flow battery and enhance the appeal in the competitive energy storage market. Next slide, please, John. And we do have a video just unpacking and explaining this icon a bit better than what I just did. So please watch the video.
A new era of energy storage is here, unlocking a sustainable future. The vanadium flow battery, from capturing energy to capturing attention, with a powerful new icon. A symbol representing recyclability, reusability, longevity, low carbon footprints, and a unified industry. Vanadium flow batteries are trusted for their unmatched durability and scalability, and as a 50-plus year asset, are suitable for a wide range of applications, from small commercial buildings to large-scale grid integration. Vanadium flow battery deployments are growing, predicted to experience a 22-fold increase. And due to vanadium's role in clean energy technologies, the World Bank predicts a near 200% increase in vanadium demand by 2050. The use of this icon is an assurance of quality and of a commitment to the vanadium industry and our sustainable future. Visit our website for an interactive map of existing installations, fact sheets and animations, press releases, research papers, and more. Let's build a cleaner world, one powerful battery at a time.
Thank you. And I will also say on the website, on Vanitec's website, there is a tab, Vanadium Flow Battery tab, where there's plenty of information about the battery. But there's also a lot of useful marketing materials available there, including this video and lots of other videos, press releases, thought leadership pieces, fact sheets, and more animations in various ways. So please feel free to have a look there.
And
So
Gabrielle,
some
just one quick
examples.
thing to add there for everyone. That video, as well as many others, are all translated into Chinese as well. So we have those for our Chinese friends in Chinese.
Absolutely. And a lot of the fact sheets also have been translated and has been uploaded into Chinese. Some examples of the tactics that I just mentioned here. In February this year, Vanitec highlighted two significant energy storage projects in China, and with a combined investment of approximately 510 US million. So these initiatives represent the largest vanadium flow battery deployment in China, aiming to enhance renewable energy integration and grid stability. Another example of a tactic that we have done is that Vanitec is collaborating with stakeholders, as Terry has discussed, to establish unified global standards for vanadium electrolytes used in the vanadium flow batteries. And this effort aims to ensure consistency in quality, improve performance, and facilitate the scalability of vanadium flow battery technology worldwide. In 2022, Vanitec commissioned a white paper titled Vanadium Redox Flow Batteries, Identifying Marketing Opportunities and Enablers. So this document provides an in-depth analysis of the vanadium flow battery market, including case studies, technological advantages, and recommendations for stakeholders to overcome commercial challenges and promote adoption. Another example is how Vanitec has reported on the signing of three major vanadium flow battery projects in China. And these projects involve collaborations between various energy companies and local governments focusing on manufacturing high-end vanadium flow battery equipment and constructing large-scale energy storage solutions. And finally, Vanitec, in terms of their marketing, is supporting and promoting technical research to improve the vanadium flow battery technology. For instance, a comparative analysis of various redox flow battery chemistries was conducted to assess cost performance metrics, aiding in the optimization of the vanadium flow battery system, different applications. Sorry. Now look at some more, I guess, practical example. Next slide, please, John. How this actually looks like. Social media content. I mentioned before, we have some planned content coming out, which you can see on the right side, but also when we see that our members have some exciting news, we'll share that in terms of news flashes. John, next slide here. You can see some of the design that we have on some of the posts that's been going out earlier this year. And again, I want to highlight here some of the messages that we keep repeating over and over again to make sure that our target audience are aware of them and keep hearing it over and over again. John, next slide, please. And in terms of news flashes, we're sharing news from the industry, from our members, and just various industry players. John, next slide. I mentioned the interview videos. You already heard from Terry today, but this is an interview video that we did with Terry, and I do think it's a great piece. So John, if we can please play it too.
Vanadium flow batteries have been around for a long time. I think it was early 1970s that NASA first developed vanadium flow battery. In the past 10 years or so, we've heard a lot of talk about the development of this technology, but outside of China, we haven't seen that much actual development. In China, it's a very different story today. We expect to see about 3 gigawatt hours of vanadium flow batteries being brought online and connected to the grid just in the next year. The opportunity is tremendous because of the advent of renewable but intermittent energy, creating a market for long-duration grid-level storage. In the past, this concept of grid-level storage has been talked about, but we haven't really had the need for long-duration storage until we started to see more and more renewable energy showing up on the grid. Massive forecasts in terms of demand for vanadium resulting from the growth in the vanadium flow battery space is an important issue. We're talking about some forecasts suggesting the vanadium supply needs to triple between now and 2030 to meet the demand for these batteries. And so we're at that point in time where the market has emerged, is growing fabulously as we see more and more renewable energy come to the grid. And it's really important that the industry become mature and efficient as fast as possible. And so it becomes important to find a way to standardize the system, and in particular, standardize the chemistry of the electrolyte so we can develop a standard that's going to meet everybody's requirements.
Thank you, Terry. And on the same topic, we developed a press release earlier this year, which went out to various media publications and was published quite widely. And I will say this type of interview videos is just really spreading the message and it's getting great traction digitally. Thanks, John. Next slide. And of course, also a press release like that is shared over and over on social media too. Next slide. That was it. Thank you so much. Happy to take any questions that you might have.
Gabrielle, there is a comment in the Q&A if you could take a look at that. And then we're going to try to get ourselves back to Terry. Thank you very much, Gabriella, and to your colleagues at Lifa.